I wanted to share some real quick, easy red, white, and blue patriotic type decor pieces that you can do. These are all real nice, real easy. A lot of Dollar Tree items were used to make these. And you can use these, you can just switch it up, and you can use these really for any season. So let's get into the DIYs now. Easy wreath that you can do using items from the Dollar Tree. You can use ribbon, you can use deco mesh, you can use a ton of different things. Just based on what you use is based on the method that you're going to use to make this. I'm going to be using deco mesh for mine. This is something that I had got at the holiday time on sale. It is rather wide for what I want to do, so I'm going to cut it into three pieces each strip that I do. I'm not really measuring it out, but you want to do better than me and you want to cut your pieces straight. I was in a rush though, but I'm just going to roll it up and then squeeze it in the middle, and then it looks something like this when it's done. Like I said, you can use zip ties or you can use the other ties to tie this to the wreath form that I got mine from the Dollar Tree. But I'm just going to use the zip ties because it's like super easy. You want to try to match the color of your zip ties as close as possible to your deco mesh, but it's going to be covered up, so you're not really going to see it. But I'm just doing the first outer layer. You space them out. You can do them close together. Based on how you do it is how full it's going to look. But I just space mine out a little bit and I twist the zip ties like towards the back so that it's easier to cut once it's done, because everything starts to get in your way after a while. I went around the whole first outside of it with the white deco mesh. So it didn't take a lot to do it because you are spacing it out. Once I was done, I just cut the tails of the zip ties off, and then you, like I said, you can go on with ribbon, different things, but the ribbon you won't do the rolled way. So just to make it easy and simple, I'm doing it all with the deco mesh so that you can see just the rolled, easy, simple way. And when you have a flag, it's kind of striped. It is striped, not kind of straight. So you have white stripes, you have red stripes. So I came in with a row of the red, but you can see I skipped one of the pieces there and I went into the third ring in, because like I said, you can go in and you can fill it in, you can do different things later. But again, I'm just spacing it out just like I did the other one, and then I'm done with that. And then I want to make a little piece because a flag has the stars and stripes section. So I'm going to take this blue mesh that I got from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to put it there. My pieces weren't super tight because I didn't tie the zip tie super tight. So I was able to slide it over and put all of the blue pieces in one section, just like a regular flag. And then I have these from Valentine's Day, but you can still find something like this at the Dollar Tree. And I'm just putting those around just random because I like it to have just a little extra. And then to fill in and to give it more of that stripe look, I'm coming back with the white I did on the outside, and then some of the empty spots that were on the inside. I also came in and put those cute little pink clothes flags in there. You can decorate this with ribbon, so many different things. I just ended up using one of them, but this is how it came out. So easy and so simple. So I hope this gave you some inspiration to go out and make a cute wreath or door hanger. Another fun, easy, quick, patriotic DIY. All right, so I have this reform from Spring Easter, but they do sell the small ones at Dollar Tree, but why not repurpose one that I already have? So I'm just going to cut the ears off of this. It is real easy. Just rock back and forth and it'll come off. Mine is broken, but that's okay because you won't see it. So then I have ribbon from the Dollar Tree and some other ribbon too. I'm going to use this ribbon because I just like the color. I like kind of like the burlap twine kind of thing on the side there because it goes with the other ribbon from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just measured out how long I wanted it folded, and then I'm just cutting pieces along that size. I'm just using the first piece that I cut to measure out the rest of the pieces. And then you'll just take, fold it in half and kind of fold it together and then zip tie it. You can use twisty ties, but you just wanted to tie it to the reform. I'm going in on the second ring of my reform, I'm not going to touch the bottom ring, but you can make this fuller. You can do a whole lot of different things with this, but I'm just going to go around, and because these are going to space out, and I'm going to do another layer over it, I'm just going to space these out some. I'm not going to fill it in all the way around. So I'm just going to take and attach them all with the zip ties. And the zip ties don't match, but that's okay because that is going to be covered up later. And then once I go all the way around with it, getting them, how I feel it looks good. It didn't take that many either. It took about 4 or 5 for each section of these. So you don't need that many. It took less than the whole pack of ribbon to do this. So you can do this with a bigger reform though, and it will probably take, more. But once I was done doing that, you can just cut the tails of the zip ties off. And you can leave yours like that, like especially if you like a cute little rough edge. But I just did a little peak on mine, but you can cut it on an angle. You can cut them so many different ways. And then I have this ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I'm not going to fold this one. I'm going to cut it just the length that I want, but just still attach them the same kind of way that I attached the other ones to the reform. And I'm going to go in on the first ring of this reform. If you don't want this many rings, you can too cut those off just like you cut off the bunny ears. And then again, I'm giving it the peaks. I'm going to alternate these. So this one has like little stars, and then I have one with stripes and stars from the Dollar Tree. These are both from the Dollar Tree. And then I'm just going to alternate them. They're not all the same size. I cut some shorter, some longer, just so that it had just that, rough kind of look, but I did alternate the pattern. Then once I was done with that, I cut those off too, and then I'm just adding this ribbon. I got this ribbon from Michael's, and it came in this pack. So there's red, white, and blue all on the same thing. So I'm just cutting those again on a folded length of how long I want it. And I'm just going to tie those on to the first ring of the ribbon and then just lay them cute. I'm not going to cut the ends of those. Once I'm done, I'm just going to leave it, but I am alternating between red, white, and blue just so that the colors aren't next to each other for those right there. And then that is done. I didn't worry about the inside because I was going to cover it with rope. I was going to do 2 layers of rope, but then when I went to do it, I realized I didn't have enough rope. So I'm just going to go in with the ribbon that is on the bottom because you really don't see it. So it'll kind of bring it back out. So I'm just going to hot glue that on. If you're going to be using this outside or something, I would just tack it down with some thread, you know. Once I got to where it closed off, I just folded it so it didn't have that rough edge. And then I just folded around the back and glued that down too. You want to do that in sections because you'll need to do it in sections. And then I had this reform from the Dollar Tree also. So it's like a little pinwheel. I spray painted that red. And then I have this from Michael's. It broke. I glued it together with some wood glue. But I guess when I clamped it, it gave it a little curve. So that has a little curve, but they usually come flat. I'm going to take it. I'm going to put 2 coats of navy paint on. I've been using the lighter blue, but I like the navy blue for this one because it goes better with the ribbon. So I'm just going to first attach this reef to the other reef form. So I'm just doing that again with zip ties. So you just want to lay it where you want it to be. And then you can attach it with some zip ties. I just did a few, but you can do more. And then I flipped it back over. And then I'm going to just attach the wood piece to that. I'm just going to use some hot glue to attach mine. You can use a stronger glue, but the hot glue worked out just fine for what I was doing. And that was really it. You can attach a little hook to the top to give it just another little detail, but you can hang this just fine on a on a reef hook with the pinwheel. And this is how it came so out. Cute. And it has that nice patriotic look to it. And it didn't even take that long to do. And most of the items were from Dollar Tree. Now for this one. Okay, so I had got this from Target. So in the dollar spot bin, it was $5. So cute. But I just wanted to add just a little something extra to it. You can just leave it as is. But Dollar Tree has these rub transfer pieces that you can get, and they have a patriotic thing. Do not do that. Do not lift it once you put it down. Once you put it down, you are ready to go. It sticks right away. I'm taking this foam from the Dollar Tree and just putting a little bit of faux plants in there. I'm taking them off the stem, so you just pop them off, pop them in there. And then I'm going to take these mesh ribbons, and one is solid palette from the Dollar Tree as well. I'm just going to make a little bow to go in the front of the basket. I'm going to fold it like that. And then to cover the middle, I'm just going to take another piece of the ribbon and I'm just going to hot glue everything together and put it on the basket. This little flag I made out of clothespins from the Dollar Tree. And this is how it came out. So quick, so simple, and just a way to add a little something extra to your already cute decor. Now for this one, okay, so this is a leftover I had from Valentine's Day, but I noticed the Dollar Tree didn't really have any gnomes like this for this season. So I'm just gonna cover this guys up and give them like a patriotic look. I got these bandanas. They came in a pack of 2 from Dollar Tree. You can take all of this off, but I'm just gonna cover it up. So I covered up the nose, hot glued it at the back, covered it up with the hats, covered up the other like pieces in the middle there, and then just hot glued it around. This is real easy, real simple. You can play around with this in so many different ways. If you take off the little tassel like pieces there, you can paint this. You can do so many different things. But this is how mine came out. So I hope it gave you some inspiration to reuse some of those old decorations so that you can get more use out of them. A super easy red, white, and blue decor piece. I'm reusing something from Valentine's Day. This is how it originally looked, but you can find these, type of hearts all over the place. I painted 2 sections red and then 2 sections white with just some regular paint. And then I had decorated it for Valentine's Day. I took off those pieces and now I'm going to do it for 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day style decor. I taped off a little section. I had to shake my paint and I painted that section blue. Let that dry, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to stencil it with these stencils from the Dollar Tree. I cut off the one that I wanted and did as best as I could with it, and then that's how that looked. And then it was still just a little plain, so I just wanted to add something a little extra. So I took this ribbon that I also got from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to kind of weave it in and out, kind of giving it that like wavy. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a look. So I'm just going to take and glue the piece to the back there. And then, like I said, I'm just going to weave it in and out of the openings that are there, just making sure I have enough for what I want to do. So I just played around with it to see where I wanted it to end at. And then, like I said, I'm just going to go in and out. It's real easy and real simple. You can just leave it like that if you want. But I did decide to add just a few extra things to it. But once I was done doing this part and I figured out which way I wanted to lay it, I glued the back piece just like I glued the other piece. And I glued some of the pieces on the top because I wanted them to look like they were, still coming in and out, even though they were on the top. So I just took a little bit of hot glue and did that so that you don't have to worry about covering it up on the top because you don't really see where it is glued down at. You can add so many different elements to this and make it so pretty. I also got this from the Dollar Tree. It's in like the 4th of July area of decor. I stapled this on. Use a regular staple. This is so thin you do not need a big staple. And then I just did it the same way I did the other one and just left a piece coming up out the back there so that it just looks a little cute. And then because I had removed the string when I did my other DIY, I'm just adding some twine to this so that I could be able to hang it and just so we can deal with those little holes that are there too. So I just took the twine, cut 3 strands of it. So I just wrapped it and wrapped it, cut 3 strands, and then I put a knot in the back, and then I'm just going to braid it so that it has a little thickness to it and it has a good look. And then I put it in the other side. I finished braiding it and then I tied it off the same way I tied the other one off. And then it was done. And like I said, you can add wording to this. Some lettering on this would be cute. Just so many different ways that you can do this. But this is just real easy and real simple. And I hope it gave you some inspiration to go out and do something. Now to make those easy clothespin flag decor pieces. All right, so I just have some paint, red, white, and blue. That was not red. It looked red a little bit though, but I'm just going to separate the clothespins and then I'm going to paint them. So I'm going to paint them red and white. And again, that was not red. It was like a reddish, but it was too metallic. So I came back in with this spray paint. I spray painted them and then I painted the other pieces white. Then you'll let that dry. Once that dries, then you can put them together, alternating the colors to get that cute little flag look to these. I hot glued mine together. You could use wood glue, but of course you will have to wait a little bit more time for that to dry. Once it dry, okay, so you could paint a little blue square and put little dots for the stars. But I'm just using this crafting tape because it had cute little dots on it already. And it was just real easy and real simple to do. And then I'm just going to glue these dowels to the back. I did cut them down to size, and this is how that came out. Another easy patriotic one. All right. So I wanted to use this side. They do have these at the Dollar Tree that are blank. They didn't have any at mine. So I was just going to try to repurpose this one. But that fabric and that little heart is hard to get off. So I'm just going to flip it around and I'm going to use the back for this right here. So better way would have been to paint the white first and then paint the blue square, but I did it in reverse. I painted the blue square, then I came back in and I painted the white. Let those dry in between with the tape and painted around all the sides. And then I have these stencils from Dollar Tree. I picked this one right here. I cut it off so that it would lay just a little flatter because it wasn't laying flat on the thing. This is how that came out. And then I'm just going to do like a rough wavy line because I like my things to look just a little rough. And then once that dried, I wrapped some twine around, put a cute little bead on it, and that was really it. This is how it came out. So easy and so simple. Okay, now for this one, another fun Dollar Tree patriotic one. So I have this little square. You get them from Dollar Tree in a pack. So they come in a pack of several. You can get a thicker base if you want from Dollar Tree. And then I got these little wall decor pieces. So they have a sticky back on them. So you might want to leave the backing on before you paint them because then it's stuck to the paper. But the spray paint sticks best to these, but I didn't have any blue spray paint. So I painted one blue, two red, left one silver, and then I painted the base, and then I have these transfers from Dollar Tree, so they're just a rub transfer. So I picked a few and put it on the homes. I didn't put it on everyone, just some, and then I glued them down to the base, and it's just a really cute, fun piece of decor that you can customize to fit in with your personal style. An easy pinwheel style wreath that you can do using items from the Dollar Tree. You can do this for 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day, any kind of holiday. You can change up the ribbon and do it, any way you want. I took this pinwheel wreath form from Dollar Tree. I painted it white with some spray paint. And then I'm going to take some ribbon. These are leftover pieces. So I have a leftover piece of rope. And so I'm just making everything that same length as that leftover rope. But you can cut yours however long you want it to be. For the fluffiest effect, the ribbon with the wire in it is easier to fluff out. The other ones will be a little flatter. The stiffer the better. Most of the ribbon I did get from the Dollar Tree. So the canvas like ones I got from the Dollar Tree. The red mesh one I got from the Dollar Tree. The rope was a scrap from the Dollar Tree. This I did get from Michael's, and so it's three small ribbons together. So they're red, white, and blue with the cute little stars on them. So I cut four of the Dollar Tree ones, and then I cut two sets of the thin ribbon, and then I had one piece of the white and one piece of the rope. You can do this individually, like take each one, twist it, stack it, bunch it all together. If you're uncomfortable doing that, you can lay them flat like this, just fold them in half. It's real easy and real simple. Just lay them up, fold them in half, and any pattern you want. It doesn't have to be a specific pattern. You can do it randomly. You can do it all of the same ones together. You can just play around with it and just have fun with it. But just fold them in half, layer them. Like I said, you can twist them and do it, or you can lay them flat like that if that's easier for you to get them all together. Once you have them all together, I just took a rubber band and tied around the middle of where I folded at. See, this is great because you can adjust them later if you do not like how they look. Because, like I said, some of these are going to be just a little flatter of a look because they don't have the wire in them. But I'm going to spread out the bottom pieces here so that I can just play around with it and just fluff it around. So you can just twist them into place where you want them to go and just keep playing with it till you get the look you want. If they are laying too flat for you, you can pull the tails. so that it fluffs up more at the top, but you can just keep going until you're done. And then for the tails, for the wider ones, I just took and cut them on angles. So I folded it in half, cut it on an angle so that it had like that little peak look there. You can cut them straight. You can do whatever you want with this right here. But because you will see the tails though. So just cut them nice and even so they don't look too rough and they don't fray at the end. Once I was done playing around with the bow, I just zip tied it to the pinwheel. So you can tie this with a twisty tie. You can tie this different ways, but I always like just using zip ties because it's just quick and easy. So you don't want to pull the bows and stuff so that they are all mushed up in the zip tie. You want to make sure you get it underneath it so that it doesn't mess up your bow. Because I turned it over, I got to fluff them back out again because I kind of flattened it. But that's just really it. It's real easy, real simple. You can go ahead and you can add other things. My intention was to add a cute little welcome sign, but it broke on the way home, even though I didn't put it in a bag to keep it from breaking. So I need to glue that with wood glue to make sure it just stays together nice. And I didn't have the time for that to dry. So I left that part out, but you can leave it like this. You can add a cute little sign to it. You can add more decor to it. Like I said, you can do this for any holiday, any season. It's just something real easy and real simple to do. And I did mine using mostly items from the Dollar. Okay, another fun patriotic style home decor DIY that you can do. I'm going to be using scrap wood that I have. And this is a good reason to always save your scrap pieces of wood. I'm going to take and I'm going to even these out so that they have that nice little staggered look. And then this is how they came out. So I picked those three pieces. You want to make sure they can stand up nice because this is a standing piece of decor. You can sand off your ends just to make sure everything is nice and smooth and even. So this is a real easy, simple project. And then I also did one in Jenga blocks too. So if you don't have scrap wood, you can do these in the Jenga box at Dollar Tree. So I have these napkins, they have bandanas, all kind of different prints at Dollar Tree. And so I'm just going to take and do some Mod Podge on the largest one. So instead of painting it white, because you know, red, white, and blue, I'm going to cover it with the napkin from the Dollar Tree because I just think it's a cute little print. So I'm covering it in a good layer of the Mod Podge, and you can see the napkin worked out to be the exact length of this scrap piece of wood, which was really perfect. So I'm just covering it around on all sides, getting a nice good coat on there. And then once I was done with that, I'm just going to lay the napkin out and just wrap it around. So this is real easy, real simple. You can cover yours in Mod Podge in parts if you're more comfortable doing it that way. But I don't need it to be too perfect, so I just covered everything at one time. And then I'm just like, you know, smoothing it out just a little bit around all of the pieces. And then I noticed there was a little overlay, so I was like, okay, great, because now I can cover the bottom, doesn't really matter, but the top, so that it doesn't just have that wood look there, because I was going to end up painting that white to cover it up. So now I don't have to, because the napkin folded over. I cut off the excess. You can do this beforehand. You can like measure it out and cut it off. But I cut off the excess, and then I'm just going to smooth that out and give that a coat of the Mod Podge too, just to make sure everything is nice and covered. Everything is sticking down nice and good on the top, the bottom, around all the sides. And then I'm just going to put that on something elevated to dry, because you don't want to dry it on the paper, because then the glue dry to the paper, and that won't be good at all. While that is drying, I'm just going to take and paint the other pieces. So I'm going to paint the middle size one red, and I'm just using this paint right here. I'm going to cover again all sides of this. I'm not worried about the bottom, because the bottom is going to be the bottom. It's going to be standing up. But I'm just going to do one coat. So I'm going to do one coat around all the sides, and then on the top, because it's going to be like table decor, so you will be able to see the top. And then I did the blue. I covered it again, just like I did the other one. Just one coat, and I did around all the sides and the top, and then left that to dry. And then once it's dry, you can go on to the next step. You can decorate this in so many different ways. Was debating on how I was going to do it. I know I like my looks to be distressed, so I gave it a little sanding around the corners there, just to give it that distressed look. I have these 3 stars, so you can get the pack. I did the same thing on the Jenga blocks. You can get the pack of the wood stars at the Dollar Tree, painted one white, one blue, one red. And I was debating on how I was going to put these on. When they laid on the Jenga blocks, they were like the perfect size to lay on the front. And I had a white one. So it was just a different look, but I wasn't liking how it was looking there. I was debating on if I would put them on top. It was just, but you can decorate these anyway. But I decided to just go ahead and do the rope part for the firecracker because these are like firecracker decor. So I just take the nautical rope from the Dollar Tree and I untwisted it. It comes in 3 strands. And then I untwisted those strands. And then I decided to attach the stars to the top right in front of the rope. So I did that for all 3. I glued it down, made sure it was in a position that it was nice and standing straight up. And then I glued the star to the rope and to the base of the wood block so that everything was secure and nice in place. If you wanted to, you could drill a little tiny hole and dig those little feet in there, but this is going to be inside, so it's fine just like that. And then once that dried, I'm going to tie these together. I was going to go with the nautical rope, but it was too thick because these pieces are kind of narrow and I didn't want the rope to overpower it. So I just went with some twine from the Dollar Tree, and this is how it came out. Another easy patriotic style decor piece that you can do using Dollar Tree items. So they have these in the garden section. I painted mine all white with some spray paint. And then you can go ahead, you can leave it like that and then fill it. But I wanted to make it a kind of patriotic. So I took this ribbon from the Dollar Tree. You can do this with so many different things. But like I said, I took the ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I like the print on this one right here. And I just glued it. So I glued it together in the back. And then because around the bottom was a bit narrower than the top, just so you wouldn't have that gap, I glued that down like in little sections so that it kind of looked smoother. And then I decided to go with some twine and some nautical rope from the Dollar Tree also. So you don't have to do this. You can do something else. You can do more ribbon, some distress ribbon. You can distress the tin. So many different ways you can do this. But I wrapped the twine around the top just a few times, like 4 or 5 times. And then I just tied it in a knot to close it. You can put a little hot glue in this if you think it's not going to stay in place. But as long as you do it nice and snug, this stays in place just fine. And I pushed mine up as I wrapped it around to make sure that it would fit good. And then I took the nautical rope and I did that around the bottom the same way I did the ribbon, but I just hot glued this more so that it would stay in place. So I did all the way around the back and then all like in different sections around the front till I got to the back, and then that is how it came out. And it's just like so simple and easy. I have these little wood stars from the Dollar Tree. I was debating what I was going to do to hang right there where the twine was. At first, I was going to distress some ribbon and some burlap and have it like that. I didn't want it to be too busy. They have pieces at the Dollar Tree you can use. So I just added a few more strings of twine because I didn't want a full on tassel. So I took that, did that, and then I added just one of the stars. I was going to add a red, white, and blue one, but I think just a nice simple wood one. It's just nice and cute and simple. So I just tied that in a knot with one of the pieces of twine that was hanging there. And then I'm using mine as like a faux planter because I don't have any real plants, but I think it came out super cute. So you might want to give this one a try because I think this one might be my favorite because it's just simple, but it has like a good statement to it. Another fun, easy Dollar Tree DIY that you can do for Labor Day, 4th of July, Memorial Day. All right, so I have this block, this set of Jenga blocks, and I'm just gonna take them, I'm gonna double stack them. So I'm gonna take and put one on top of each other. I'm gonna do a row of 10, a row of 8, and then a row of 6, and then just another row on top of that. So I'm just setting them all up so that I have enough for what I'm doing. If you want it thicker, you can go thicker with these. You can use wood glue with these, but you'll have to wait a while for it to dry. So because I'm using hot glue, this is something that you want to use indoors. You don't want to use it outdoors. But I'm just going to glue them together, make sure it's lined up nice and even, because you don't want it to look, too wonky. Once that dried, then I'm just going to stack the other row right on top of it and glue that on there. So you can glue it together, and then you can glue on top of each other one, just like I did the other set, to make sure everything is together nice and even. And like I said, you can use another type of glue, especially if you want to use this outside, but this is small, so this is more like table decor than like porch decor. So once I have all of my sets together, I'm just going to paint them. So I'm going to paint the smallest one blue, the middle size one red, and the largest one white. I'm going to get all the sides, the front, the back, the sides, the top. I'm just going to cover everything. I'm just doing one coat with mine. You can do more coats if you want a more solid look, but I like to have like a little distressed look. And I think like the patriotic pieces, I think they look really nice when they have that distressing to them. So once I was done with the white one, and like I said, the front, the back, the sides, the crack, only part I didn't paint was the bottom. I went on to the other one and I did that one red, the same one coat, and the same one coat on the blue. And then I have these pack of stars from Dollar Tree. So they have these little nice little wood pieces they cut out with like the lasers. So I'm just going to take one of each of the designs and I'm going to paint them one blue, one red, and one white to go along with the blocks that I have. Once that dried, then I'm just going to hot glue them on top in the front of the Jenga block. So just different colors mixing. You can put the same color, but it'll kind of blend in if you do it that way. So I'm just mixing up the colors. So I put the white one on the blue one on the red one, and the red one on the white one. But you can jazz this up all kind of different ways. You can do stencils, you can do all kind of different things. I'm going to wrap the white one with a little bow of twine. You can wrap them all with this. You can do just a bunch of different things. And then I'm just figuring out how I want to lay them. And then I was going to wrap around just like in a bundle, like you see the little firecracker things, but I didn't like the way it was laying with that, so I didn't do that. But I am going to add, because they're like firecrackers, this rope. So the nautical rope from Dollar Tree, it comes and then it's like 3 strands. So I'm just taking those strands, I separated them and then separated them again so that they kind of have like that firecracker look, and just hot glued it to there. Made sure I placed it around so that it'll stand up nice and straight. And so I did one for each of them. You can do these in the same size, you can do these in different sizes. Just let that dry. And it's just real fun, real easy, real simple. And then I decided to wrap the twine around each one individually at the bottom. So make sure you follow along for more DIYs. That's So Trendy DIY.